Good evening, Wandering Beekeeper here. Hello, greetings, welcome. See how things go tonight. It's, excuse me, 1 second. Forgot to clear my throat right before I opened the mic. Amateur. Um, Shame on me. We are getting, I see, much better signal going out tonight. The analytics on the screen here for the stream managers say excellent. And I'm looking at OBS and seeing 0 dropped frames thus far in the first nearly 6 minutes. So I've gotten moved back downstairs. We did not get the battleship moved, the desk. The massive solid wood desk that is in the garage that came with the house. It is in the garage, I think, because that's where they were able to put it and said the hell with it. We're waiting for the movers to come back and bring a furniture dolly and get the desk out of the garage and into my workroom, my office. I am back on the folding table that I was on at the cabin. Not really enjoying that. The ergonomics are terrible, but at least I'm set up. I have my rig set up, and we'll be able to work tomorrow at the day gig and can stream tonight closer to the router, although that is partly addressed, and have the big external monitor to the left of the laptop for Stream Manager. Feels nice to have that going. We have closed out at the cabin. We are done there. Well, except for the possible legal proceedings. We, on Friday, spouse and middle child, age 30, made a trip over to the cabin. Did a load. This is clean up and clean out after the movers had taken all the furniture and stuff. This is getting the last of the small stuff and doing cleanup. Ran that load back to the new place. Got back over to the cabin about an hour and a half later, and the chicken coop was gone. Called the sheriff. Whoops, wrong county. The sheriff stuck, or the Smyrna sheriff stuck around for a little bit while the county, the correct county showed up, because, and then they looked at the straight pride flag and went, "Oh, this guy." There's been some discussion. We are not going to get the coop, which we had just finished paying off. That was not cheap. Got it from Tractor Supply. Got a ready to assemble coop, so that we had something at least reasonably well designed, and got that. Had just gotten it paid off. And of course, the tin birds are also gone. We hadn't even gotten the first egg. And the police took a report, and Sterling said he didn't know nothing about no damn chicken coop, and got kind of belligerent, which was not a good idea with the cops. He's now on a watch list with 2 different law enforcement agencies. I am very much against calling the cops, but in this case, you know, let's throw the fash at the fash. And the two that came out from county, heard what Sterling had taught his kids to call us, and looked at the straight pride flag and went, yeah, this guy is not, we're not going to have another damn Bundy here. Come on. Let's. They're keeping an eye on him. We'll see what happens. There's one more chapter to the story, but we are clear of that place. We are in the new place. We have unpacked the kitchen enough. Okay. Bush song 1982, Cops and Fash, better when they're busy fighting each other. Yeah. If you can get your enemies to fight each other, I mean, that's just classic Sun Tzu. I have, to change the subject radically, a very lovely thing here. Some time ago, my spouse sent off on one of those Facebook ads. This is LJ. I'm logged in on my husband's account for some reason. Oh, hi LJ, welcome. Holy cow. Good to see you. This is sort of the check-in when I riff for a few minutes and just sort of unload a little bit and wait to see who shows up before I hit resume or go or whatever. I do need to review a little bit from last session and let folks know where we are going from here, because it is going to be a thing tonight. It was a thing last week. Let's talk about the nice thing first, because, yeah, spouse sent off to one of those Facebook ads and got an assortment of brewing chocolate, Creo Brew. No endorsement here, no relationship. When I first tried it, I didn't think much of it, but I had tried the light roast and tried it straight up. Tonight, I took the dark roast, put it in my Ingenuity instead of a French press, dropped a little brown sugar, cinnamon, and nutmeg into the mug, and then you went with boiling water straight out of the kettle onto the nibs. Let it rest on the grounds for a good long while before draining it, and this has come out really nice. I could see this becoming a thing for streaming. It's chocolate, but it does not coat the throat the way hot chocolate does. It has dairy in it, and it's got that Central Americano thing going on, where I've used brown sugar and a bit of cinnamon. So it's rather nice. Wandering Village is not so nice. We're in a hell of a situation. Toward the end of last session, I made a pickup, picked up some nomads, and went over 200 population and got the Wandering City achievement. This is a rare achievement. Only like 1.7% of players get this achievement. So I'm feeling quite accomplished about that, but minutes later, the poison that we had been enduring for far too long caught up with the village. The village ran out of medicinal herb and could not grow enough fast enough, and people started dying off. Wandering Village tracks each villager as an individual. You can micromanage You can zoom in on a particular villager and see how happy are they with their housing and the food variety available to them. Are they in good health? What are they currently doing? It's you can get really seriously zoomed in on it. And yeah, whoa, that's big. Yes, that's a lot of people. It took me a long time. I had accumulated nearly a year of game time. 365 days we were coming up on. I need to see what day we're on when I hit resume. This game's been going on a lot longer than I had expected, but Bad Road and I had discussed it, that there's a dwarf fortress thing going on here where lots of city ruins like that, like along the Silk Road. Oh yeah. On day 100, we passed the remains of a dead Anbu. And we built a monument in our village to our own survival at that point and said, okay, we are going to mark the fact that we're still here. Well, I have a few vague ideas about how to re-optimize to maybe keep my systems functional, but this is... Yeah, let me fade back over here real quick to the opening screen, because this is episode 16 of this game of the Wandering Village. I've been going 16 episodes. Yeah, stream number 47. I'm coming up on a year of streaming. So yeah, it's been a thing, but we've reached a point of systemic collapse. I have a few vague ideas about how to try and recover, but I don't know if this is going to work. If it doesn't, I will be filling in with Roots of Pacha, and we'll see where we go from there. Let's get on with this. What was really grim was that it scrolled up the name of every person who died, because it tracks the people. Here is Anbu. Have you seen Anbu before? Let us just rest with Anbu for a moment. So there goes Anbu. Anbu has gotten into motion. We are heading at this point along this road through the desert. We are likely to encounter a sandstorm, which will cause us much woe, like we don't already have enough. Right now, though, I need to get into my village, and I need to start doing some things. I'm going to shut down the iron furnace. I'm going to shut down the stone cutter. I'm going to shut down the carpenter. That's already shut down. I'm going to come up here, and the seawater collector. This whole seawater collection and evaporation area here is all getting disabled. This is releasing people to go elsewhere where we need them. Places like the evaporators, the air wells, and the kitchens, which are desperately low on people. This one, the kitchen has no people at all. Let us go through and just see what I can do here. Carriers. Oh gosh, we got way too many worker posts. I'm going to disable this worker post entirely. And this one over here, general workers, I'm going to disable the worker post and just release everybody. Oh gosh. Is this just me? I only see the title screen. Whoops. I'm looking at the monitor right now. It's just you. If I'm looking at the stream manager, and what I'm seeing right now is, well, somewhat time delayed, but I'm seeing the village on the screen with me going through and disabling stuff. Let's go over to OBS. OBS says that it is putting out the game screen. Try reloading. Twitch has been, well, twitchy. Let's see. What all? A sandstorm that might damage your buildings. Oh, damn it. It's crossing ahead of us. Several buildings have collapsed. Let's see what's collapsed. Oh, lordy, lordy. Oh, damn it. The feeding trebuchet, that's got to absolutely be prioritized. And the hornblower, we can't talk to Anbu right now. Prioritize repair of those. This evaporator here, shut it down, release the person. This evaporator here, shut it down, release the person. This is a seawater collector, we'll repair it, but I'm not going to prioritize it. Okay, we'll leave some of this alone here. This is a fishery. I'm going to shut it down. Let us go out, and there are nomads that direction. We are going to go that direction. We can't go that, choose to go that direction until we get the hornblower repaired. Bloody hell. Ugh. Did you try a reload? Did it do any good? Waiting decision. I've got a decision to make here. Settlers, absolutely we are picking them up. Oh gosh, we need people right now. Oh gosh, we need people. Ooh, yes, absolutely pick those people up. Let us zoom to the village and just... Oh golly gosh. Stone slab, we've got stone slab in stock. There's 235 in stock. They just need to get delivered. We've got carriers arriving. Aha! It's now in repairing mode, and this person, are they a general worker? Are they going to flip over? Yes, they have just flipped from being a carrier to being a builder. Looking for reload menu, I'll try rejoining. Okay. We are repairing. Question being, do I have no one employed? I'm going to have to release people to get these things working. I have to find some way to somewhere I can drop a person or two. Lord, fucking mess. All right. Better go there, and oh shoot. Well, the other party can go there when they come back. Let us just kind of scroll through for a minute here. This, I'm going to shut down the community plaza. Okay, community plaza is shut down. Mycologist is going to stop advertising for people. You're going to stop advertising for people. As a matter of fact, you're going to drop one. We're also going to go look at the plant nursery here and tree nursery and reduce by 1. We'll let them continue trying to demand. This evaporator is going to get shut down. The bakeries are just going without entirely. It's just terrible. Gotta get the hornblower. The hornblower is staffed. Yes. We can talk to Anbu again. Please, Anbu. Oh, yeah, we need to go that way. Thank you. We can talk to Anbu. Ominous music. Yeah. It's like that. We're going to be hitting a heat wave shortly, which is going to really fuck with our crop capability. I'm going to send a party to the oasis to grab water, because our water production is pretty much non-existent at the moment. The air wells are just not going to be able to function in an arid environment. See, precious little activity there, and our water reserve. Fortunately, we have a water reserve, but it's going to go quick. Agriculture takes so much water, even in any level of technology. I've got cactus going here, which produces water. I've got wheat going here. It's a little too warm for wheat, but I'm going to keep with the wheat going because we need food. There's a lot of it going on here. That's a sack of wheat grain. That's all sacks of wheat grain waiting to be carried. I'll have it carried off to the windmill, which is short a person. They have rather a lot of wheat and rather a lot of flour. They're actually doing low water production is bad news. Oh, absolutely. Wheat is probably less water intensive than rice. Yeah, rice isn't an option. I only have a few options. Temporary temperature increase might affect the growth of your crops. It's going to really screw me. My tomatoes are just going to stop. Over here, I've got corn, which is kind of trundling along. At least, that'll give us some variety. Party has come back. I need to assign the next party, and let us send that next party to this oasis and go for the water. We're going to be turning and heading into ocean, at which point we will be all in a continuing dry environment as far as humidity goes, and we'll have to use these desalinators that I've been disabling to release people from in order to get water. Food quality right now is pretty crap. It's not doing so great, largely because we simply don't have the people to operate the systems. This village was built up and was handling 200 people. I've got food production and so forth, and there's only one person here now. This general worker post. I'm just going to shut the whole thing down. Carriers are absolutely vital. I can never have enough carriers. Right now, we don't have anybody working the feeding trebuchet. We cannot feed Anbu, which means we also cannot do a number of other things. This is kind of critical. I gotta figure out where I can get somebody pried loose so that we can run the feeding trebuchet. It's gonna get critical pretty soon. Meanwhile, the windmills and the bakeries and so forth are just... We got one bakery with one baker here. They're turning out bread, but they ain't gonna keep up. And I'm going to have to undisable this, which will put a flag up asking for people, which is not what I need to be doing right now. Oh, Anbu hungry. Hey, Freya Dragon, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. The game is in a heck of a mess at this point. The village encountered a massive, just massive stretch of poison forest with no safe spots for Anbu to sleep, which poisoned a lot of villagers, and then there was a poison forest, and Anbu was too tired to run through it, so we had an extended exposure, and the village ran out of medicinal herb and couldn't grow enough. It couldn't grow more fast enough, and I lost almost half the population of the village. So I've gone through and done some work on shutting down some facilities. All the advanced processing is shut down. The stonemason, the carpenter, the glassmaker, that's all shut down. Oh, damn it, the glassblower. I missed. Dang it. Alright, shut that down. I'm trying... There we go. Did I? No. Dang it, I thought I'd gotten somebody. I have to get somebody for the feeding trebuchet. We are about to make a turn. When we make the turn, we will pick up these nomads. And then we will go out into water briefly and then find a nice snoozy spot. And then we will be trucking across water, and that's going to get messy. There's another oasis here I'm going to try to hit before we go out of range of it. Oh, it got very dark. It got much darker because of the way the game tracks each villager as an individual. Because I've been staying at a level of zoom here. Let's just, walk in close and look at that person. That is Teddy. Teddy is going to the berry gatherer. Teddy is not real thrilled with the food variety and not thrilled at all with the food quality. On the other hand, their housing is good. And it'll even show us which house they live in and so forth. It gets really... You can get really micromanagey Dwarf Fortress level stuff with this. We have made the turn. I think I'm going to lose sight of that oasis before I can get a scavenging party out to it. Rooting for Teddy, yeah. So as each villager succumbed to poison, over here in this little status panel, the names scrolled up one at a time. It was brutal. The game spends a lot of effort creating an empathic response on the part of the player and evoking the feeling of an ethical responsibility. If you'll notice, if you remember, as soon as I saw the nomads, I was immediately looking for the hornblower to make sure that I was going to direct Anbu this direction to pick up those nomads. This is a post-apocalyptic environment. We are surviving only because we are in a symbiotic relationship with Anbu. And to continue that symbiosis, we need somebody working the dang feeding trebuchet. Anbu is up to 28%, which I don't like. The bigger deal is the poison level, and we could, I think, do something about that. Let's see, can we antidote? Yes, we can. Oh, this is going to be fun. Look, see the little hot air balloon? And if we zoom in, we can actually see the hot air balloon coming in and landing. The person coming out after having made the trip. Is 28% hungry the same as 72% full? Yes, it is. Hello, Bad Road. Welcome. No, Anbu is 72% full. There will be a directional arrow every now and then. Here we go. Nomads. Absolutely, we pick them up. We always pick up anybody who wants to join. 3 people joined our village. That got me 3 people. Does that get me a trebuchet operator? This is really, really important. I know it's they're going to get soaked somewhere, but where did they get soaked? Dang it. Kitchen, maybe? Bakery? I gotta find someplace I can release some people. Alright, we're gonna turn that down. And we're gonna turn that down. And that's not even... Wow. Yeah. One of the poo gatherers just isn't working at all. I said this in another stream, but Anbu is such an immediate Gaia figure stand-in. Oh yeah. Yeah. The fact that Anbu is effectively genderless is also interesting, I think. Don't ask why we have so many empty houses. Yeah, that would be a thing. I have been keeping ahead on housing capacity, but 220 when I only have 125 people, that's a little suspicious. Did you build a statue of Anbu on Anbu? We did in fact build a statue of Anbu on Anbu. This is the survival monument. This is an achievement item that you get at day 100. If you make it to day 100, Anbu passes the decaying remains of another Anbu that didn't make it. And this is basically a celebration of the fact that we were still here. And, well, we're not so much still here now. Given Anbu's sleepiness of 61%, Anbu will most likely stop and snooze in this safe spot here. Yeah, never ask questions you're not prepared to hear the answer to. Heh. The game has spent, as I said, a lot of effort on that ethical responsibility thing and that whole we are surviving because we are together and we are in symbiosis and harmony and so forth, and we have a responsibility here, and And then when you feel in that responsibility, it seriously punishes you. Okie doke. We got a little while. Sleepiness is now decreasing. Hunger is 33%. Poison is 35%, which is much more reasonable. We'll bring it on down further in just a few minutes. I'm going to have to wait for Anbu to wake up for that. Looking ahead, we have problems, but then we always do. There is a settlement. I'll get that. I'll get party out to there. There are nomads here. Maybe. No way. Not going to happen. We're not going to meet them. They are traveling this direction, but they will not reach that square before Anbu wakes up and moves on. And, you know, we can only tell Anbu to sit so many times, and we have to have land for Anbu to sit on, and we're not going to have land for a while. Now, as far as anything else, I'm just going to go to the quarry here out of... That'll be a quick one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the Anbu statue is a particular thing, and actually I can zoom in on it here. Let's just have a better look at this. I mean, the genderless avatar of ecology works for me because speaking as a cis woman, this Mother Nature stuff is tiring. Nature is not all about fertility. No. Nature, well, also if you zoom, when you zoom in, you can see that there is a villager there heading Anbu. And neither are cis women for that matter, indeed. My spouse would agree with you. My spouse has endometriosis. Just throw that in. Yeah, the detail here is really nice. That you know, we've got the whole thing here of the villager petting Anbu at the statue. The level to which you can zoom in is just tremendous. Oop. Anbu is awakening. Anbu is indeed beloved. The game spends a lot of time and effort. Your spouse also gave birth to 3 children, didn't they? Oh, yes. She did. That's one of the reasons why she has endo. There was a C-section. Wakey, wakey. Now she's settling into this whole crone witch thing lately. It's been interesting. Been kind of a journey. Been studying herbcraft a lot lately. Okay, let's go on and do another antidote. I had a C-section, but thankfully didn't become endo, sending many sympathies. There is something almost Peter Max about that balloon flying in and landing. Just that particular animation. Scavenging party brought back some stone. Hurrah. Let us send them off to this one. And Anbu is heading out to sea. We have got to do something about this trebuchet here. This is getting critical. What can I shut down? And I can't shut down the farm. I don't want to just completely shut down the forester. This mycologist is going to drop a person. We have... I'm going to disable that dung collector. Don't dare disable, lose anybody off the decontaminators. Those are absolutely critical. I'm going to release a general worker here, and I'm going to release a carrier here. Come on, come on. Get me somebody to the trebuchet. Gotta get done. Yeah, as noted, there's at this point no way to tell Anbu to pause. We're hitting the square, and those poor nomads are just way the hell off that way. Oh, we have a choice, and the choice does involve some unpleasantness, possibly. The fact that the balloon is stereotypically colorful gets me. Dyes are pretty resource intensive, but hey, I guess people need joy in their lives. That actually is a factor in this game. If we look here, there's a stat here for decoration. Decoration is not sufficient at this point. I've not even gotten halfway there. Whoop. Ominous slave traders. Well, if we had 30 herb, medicinal herb, we could just buy them and free them, but I don't like that. Trading with slave owners is a way of supporting them. I'm going to try to distract the trader while the others find a way to free the slaves. I mean, this... is there another kind of slave trader? Despicable slave trader? I mean, the decoration will continue until morale improves. Exactly. That is exactly how it works. Cheerful, happy slave traders? No, we can't have that. We're going to commit to distracting the trader. It worked. The freed people decided to join our group, but some of them are weakened and sick, so we have brought in 4 healthy people and 2 poisoned people. Those badly poisoned individuals, we do have a bit of medicinal herb, and hopefully our village doctor will be able to... We've got 2 village doctor outposts here. That one's got a nice amount of medicinal herb right now. We're down to 1 badly poisoned already. They've already cured one of them. There we go. Okay, and we still don't have anybody working at the feeding trebuchet. This is driving me bats. Okay, I'm cutting a person at the bakery. Cutting a person at both bakeries. Windmill. Cut a person at one windmill. There we... Come on, come on. Get me somebody working at the Fool Trebuchet. Are you coming out here to work there? Please tell me you're coming out here to work at the Trebuchet. No, you're going to the Hornblower. Okay. It works out. You desperately need people. Oh, absolutely. That strong thunderstorm is buggering off about the time we're going to be heading into there. But I want to go on and make a couple of decisions. First off, there are poisoned people there. I haven't seen past that yet. We're going to set southeast and see if there's any reason to commit to going the other direction. This thunderstorm doesn't have very far to go. I am going to want to ask Anbu to kick it up a notch. This is going to make Anbu hungrier, which is going to be a bloody problem if we can't manage to feed the poor thing. It's really starting to get on my nerves. I'm going to shut that down entirely. We don't need anybody working at the research building right now. Alright. Yeah, if that thing turns around and starts heading back this direction while we're still in the green square, why no one feed Anbu? Can't you give the villagers instructions? Can't micromanage it quite that much. I cannot specifically assign a villager to the place. They get assigned in the order the requests were put in. So part of what I'm trying to do is find out what other buildings are requesting people and get them get those requests turned off so that the trebuchet will rise to the top of the queue. There's a shipwreck. Let's go send a party to the shipwreck. Those are a little risky, but they're usually worth it. Sorry about those poor people. That is heading back this direction. I don't like that at all. Anbu? Swim faster. Priority management, basically. Yeah, and it's a first in, first out queue. And so you just have to pop things off the top of the stack until your item rises to be the next one. We're going to keep on at fast swim until we get past... Oh, we have a decision to make. This is not going to be any fun at all. First, let's go down to swim. From swim faster to swim. That's going to break... Wow, heart rate got all the way up to 5.1 beats per minute. Q dot pop. Yeah, exactly. Although... I think the first the first language I used that had a stack was fourth. Can I get a person there? Why? What have I got? That's a kitchen, but I'm going to turn it down. This is a kitchen. I'm going to bring that down to one person. This farm is desperate for some people, but I'm going to tell them to stop where they are, and they need to quit growing cactus and go over to growing beets. Dang it, I forgot to switch my fool crops. Corn ain't gonna work. These tomatoes will work. That farm's barely got any people. I'm going to release 2 people from it. It's got barely any land and barely anything going. I'm going to shut that down. There we go. There we go. Alright, we are good. We are good. We can do this. We have the trebuchet. Okay, scavenging party brought back stone. We have to make a choice here. We have to make it fairly quickly. We can go this direction and pick up these poison nomads in a cold zone, or go this way and pick up these poison nomads in a poison zone. The poison zone is what caused us really serious problems earlier. Let's see, you are old, yes. It would be fun to play a TTRPG of parties from a kaiju village. Seems like Mouse Guard could be modded for Wandering Village. Oh, absolutely. If we go this way, it's dry but low poison. If we go this way, it's humid but high poison. Our water supply is dire. I'm going to take us this direction and hope that we survive it. We're already committed to going that direction. We're going to pick up these nomads instead of these nomads. And we're going to go the route of humidity. Day 363, by the way. We are 2 days short of a game year. And now we will take care of the thing here that we needed to. Let us go to here and hit feed Anbu. Poison zone sounds bad. It is bad. But we need the water. Wrecked cargo ship. This wreck seems to have been a wealthy cargo ship, perfect for scavenging. But from up close, your scavengers spot a few clouds of poisonous spores wafting out of its cargo hold. Let's search the cargo anyway. This opportunity is too good to pass up. That is the aggressive response and is usually wrong. It is very risky. The odds are against you. Bad Road, I saw this one. Survival is a series of hard choices, fittingly. I saw this one before. Oh yeah. We've actually encountered the wrecked cargo ship before. Hello, Bad Road. Welcome to the post-population collapse village. Our population is now 131. We've picked up a few people. The risk of getting poisoned is too great. The resources left on deck will suffice. That is the cautious approach and is normally the best option. Thought it was an episode of Firefly. It might be. We shouldn't risk it. Let's just turn back. I'm not turning back. I'm going to go with the cautious approach. The deck planks are remarkably intact. Clearly, this ship once belonged to very wealthy people. We got 23 wood planks. That's useful. That's rebuilding material for when we get hit with another storm and have to rebuild a collapsed building. Except, I will go with that. That is good enough. We are heading that direction. Let us look here for a moment at what all... Let's go with the shipwreck there for the next party. Those poor people. I'm sorry. We are at this point. We got tomatoes available, and we got grilled tomatoes. We got some bread. We got some bread production happening. It's not great, but it's happening. I'm going to come over here to this windmill, and let's see, the flour is doing pretty well. It's the bakery. I'm going to put up a flag on this bakery to request a person. and put up a flag on this bakery to request a person. That'll get those two in the queue. That should be the only ones actively looking for people right now. We do have a seawater collector here that's cranking along and pulling up as best as it can. The desalinator, the evaporator, however, unfortunately doesn't have anybody working there. And yeah, that's going to be a problem. Crew got back with some wood. Anbu is at 68% sleepiness. We got to get out and hope Anbu makes it to that sleepy spot. This could get kind of rough. Let's go on and feed Anbu again. As soon as I get somebody off to this dune to bring me back sand. Go on and feed Anbu again and see if that helps here. Feed Anbu. Oh, we're coming up out of water. Out of the water. Yes. Yes. If Anbu gets snoozy at this point, the village will still be above the water line. Ethos Rot, hey, heyo, how you doing? Heyo, the Bizzle. We have just given Anbu a Scooby. Anbu is very tired, but Anbu is walking up on a sleepy spot, and we're just gonna sit back and watch Anbu come up on the sleepy spot. We are at day 364. We are trying to recover from a population collapse due to intense poisoning. How does the village deal with its dead? That's not addressed in this game. If someone dies, they just go away. They're just gone. There is no cemetery space. It's simply not addressed. They brought back 11 wood. I guess we toss them over the side. Sky burial. It's a possibility. There's also the possibility that there's some sort of recycling at the composting site. There is a we do have compost heap out here making compost. One out here making biogas for the make sure that we have the decontaminators all stocked up. Oh, the aqua farm. The aqua farm I'm going to turn down. They're still trying to get a worker. That's an awful lot of stuff there. Second, let me try and hit just a few things here. There we go. Mark those for harvest. Yeah, they're doing fine. We got... Problem here is gonna be... We're gonna need carriers. I gotta start replenishing my carriers. That's a general worker post. That's a carrier post. It's got no people, but it's disabled. To enable it, and then bring it down to 2. See, and let it claim some folks here. We're at 30%, going to be a little bit here, though I will add that some mushrooms are evidently so closely related to humans, eating them can cause an autoimmune response. Oh dear. Oh yeah, the trebuchet is full of mushrooms. The trebuchet is in fact full of mushrooms. Or various other things. There are other options. There are some medications that we can give Anbu to deal with digestive issues. So, right now Anbu's poison level is low. We are in a 0 poison area, so we're kind of slowly shedding a bit of it. We need to get scavenger parties out. Dang. Totally missed that quarry, and there's not a lot of options. Forest, I suppose. I don't know if Anbu would... Let's see, I wouldn't mind my corpse feeding a kaiju that sustained me in life. I don't know if Anbu would like it. Yeah, Anbu... The Scoobies that we feed Anbu are made from mushrooms. That's made very clear. We have an Anbu kitchen here. Well, right now it's making medication. Let's flip it over to making food. The offer stands. I have an Anbu kitchen here that converts mushrooms grown at the mycologist next door into Anbu food, which is then we have to have carriers like these people here to haul all this stuff around. The post here is fully stocked on Anbu food, constipator, and laxative. We do not have any filling Anbu food, but it takes some things that are hard or unpleasant to get. We will be traveling through here for a good long while. This will give us humid instead of dry, which right now, as you can see, we are in a bit of a pickle here. Got plenty of salt water. We don't have people to operate these things. About to pick up a few people as we come ashore. We have these poisoned nomads. Good thing being that we are now up to 117 medicinal herb. I am very happy about that. We need lots of that stuff stockpiled, like lots and lots of it stockpiled. We have a bunch of Anbu health potions stocked. Also, I believe that's being made from heal shrooms. Now, we won't be normally able to see the nomads on the Anbu level view, even let's face it. We can't even see our own people. We can barely see our own people here moving around. We are in a jungle biome now. I need to change a few things here. Go through and check my farms and see what we're growing. That's wheat. This is tomatoes. That's good. That's tomatoes. That's beets. That's fine. Forester, who we don't need so much right now. We've got plenty of, a lot of wood. A lot of wood. We're not processing it because it's shut down because of a crisis going on. That's beets. This is wheat. We got wheat out the wazoo here. You encountered a group of nomads looking for a new home. Some are poisoned and will die soon. We will pick them up because we can cure the poisoning. Commit. 3 of them are 3 people. They are all poisoned and badly poisoned. Give it a second here. I'm willing to. We have medicinal herb. We have 2 healer posts. We should be able to deal with this. We also need to get a scavenging party, and I'm going to send them to the forest there. Seeing a huge amount else that really interests me yet. Desert egg. Our water should start building up. So does our civilization count as agrarian or horticultural? That's a really good question. And one that's probably being debated on the forums. Let me send you over there. One of our bakeries is now fully staffed here, so we're cranking out bread at a better rate. And you know, we want to try and stay ahead here. Not doing so great on the polenta, but then we don't have the corn. We don't have corn coming in. We got tomato. We got beets coming in now. We should be having some beet soup showing up. But yeah, there was one that just showed up. One. Well, that's the poison sound here. Day 366. We have made it a full year. We have made it a year. A little emotionally exhausting at times. You're a year in and still have 25% of the tutorial left? Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not clearing. I'm really perplexed about that. I think there's a bug there because, you know, I've long since left the tutorial. I should have left the tutorial on day 100, and I don't know why that's still there. I have no idea. It kind of bothers me a little bit, but I try not to think about it. Oh, hey, they brought back iron ore. Spiffy. Maybe someday we can reopen the iron foundry and process it. Right now, well, we have 126 iron. We don't really have a huge need. Oh, look at that. There we go. Marine settlement. I love those. If nothing else, I'll end up with some extra food. Glad I came up with a good question. Yeah. Um, we brought most of the crops that we're harvesting. The berry bushes were already there when we arrived aboard Anbu. All the rest of the crops are ones that we brought in. I'm thinking we have to count it. I'm thinking we're going to have to count it as horticultural here because of the way the farms are tended. It seems like it's all raised bed and very small plots. It's set up for rapid turnover of crops and rapid turnover of harvest. Oh dear. Here is a spore cloud. A spore cloud is not a huge deal, except right now I'm a little gun shy of poison. Going this way, there's a snoozy spot, which is really critical. And then desert. Yuck. But if we go this way, there's no snoozy spot, and there's more poison, because, as you can see, the ground toxicity here is high. That kills people. It gets really rough. Our water supply is ticking up slowly. Nice, nice. I've got multiple storage tanks. It's just we've got to be able to produce the water in order to be able to store it, you know? We've got to produce it faster than we're using it. That's a thing all of itself. Oh, okay, I think they're going in to, like, get salt or something. Or maybe to get water. Oh, we have to make a decision here. We continue on down that way, we end up in the ocean. Still no snoozy spot. We're at 23%. Wee-ha-hooey, there it goes. Back some wood. Okay, cool, whatever. Go there. I'm gonna go northeast unless something shows up to convince me otherwise. I do not like the lack of a sleepy spot going this way. It looks like a recipe for disaster. I really don't like the fact that there's a sandstorm and that, we're going to run right back into hot and arid conditions. I really need to be in humid and normal temperatures for a little while. Let our water build up, let our food supply build up. Please, a bit. Gee, that's bad. We'll move over here. And this one that's growing tomatoes is going to go switch over to beets for a little bit because I'm thinking we really need a bit more production there. Not seeing that catching up here. Yep. Worker seems to be flipping in and out of being poisoned here. Theodora, waiting for the doctor. Again. Theodora, not feeling so well. Moving to kitchen. There we go. Okay. And somebody poisoned there. That's not good. We are in a low poison area. It's going to happen once in a while. Almost done with that. Yuck. A heat wave out at sea? Yuck. Oh good gosh, I completely missed that we'd lost some housing. Not that it mattered a hell of a lot at the time, at this point. I'm still 90 beds ahead, even without those places repaired. That's gonna embarrassing. It's going to be a while here. Ideally, what I want to do is get this community plaza fully staffed and then throw a festival in order to get the next big content and achievement and yada yada. But to do that, first I've got to get my population back up. I'm in a juju flop of a situation here. You know? List. Add herb. Let me see if I can... Yeah, we got a couple spaces there that had gotten undone. Make sure they've got plenty of field marked out. It's seawater, we just don't have anybody work the evaporator. Well, the good news being, bread production is looking pretty good. Meat production, we're starting to get a bit more in stock. We just gotta get it converted. Water is slowly building up. We might actually get through from the collapse that we had from the population implosion. Still don't have all the food production facilities restaffed. Still working on that, and all the advanced processing, the iron foundry, the stone cutter, all that's going to stay shut down until we get food production all the way back up. Is a food stand is hardly anything to hand out. Working on it, they're just yeah. Carriers. I still got a couple of worker posts shut down that should be running carriers. General workers, 2 general worker posts are still shut down. All of this is it's set up to handle much larger populations. I'm going to take about 2 minutes for a bio break. We are not, I'm not done streaming. We're going to come back to the game, but I need to take a quick bio, and we will be back for another hour here. Okay, be right back. Okie doke, there we go. Alright, let us roll back over. Make sure that the stream is going to pick that up. And at this point, it's just a matter of navigation and picking up more people and trying to recuperate from what happened. Got critical functions restored here. We're going that way because we have to, because going this way was just going to be mean and ugly. both scavenging parties are back. We'll send one here to the desert island. And we'll send the other one... Let's send them to this forest. Forests are sometimes interesting. It's going that way, we're not going to encounter it. This... Well, we'll see if we can get a ride at the time. But right now, I'd like to address this poison level. You were talking about people liking their decorations and having a little joy in their life. Yeah, I mean, if you look a little more closely... Wrong direction. The kitchens have a geometric pattern here. The windmills have red sails. There's got to be dye and involved in that, and pigments to gather and so forth. And you know, there is some decoration in how they've put these places together. There's also, of course, though, we have to include things like flower beds, because having just, you know, a nice house isn't enough. There's just got to be municipal effort made toward decoration. We have passed into the desert, and we need to redo a number of things. This is going to go from beet over to cactus, which produces water. That wheat was just going to stay wheat. This is beet, and we'll flip it to corn. This is beet, and we'll flip it to corn. That is wheat, it'll stay wheat. That is tomato, it'll stay tomato. Okay. Yeah, people just naturally seem to make things beautiful. It's such a cute village. Indeed it is. And I put in some extra stuff here and there. There's just like the street lantern here. That's a decoration item. Over here we have a little Anbu, little version of the Anbu statue, which spruces up the neighborhood as an area of effect being indicated. Decoration items have an area of effect, and so yeah, they're only going to produce a bump to the decoration here up close. Let's see. Seeing some oases that I'm going to want to hit. Also, looking at the balloon a little more closely, it's only like 2 colors, and the brown might be undyed, so it's much more realistic than like full Technicolor. Yeah. Yeah, the designers of Wandering Village have put a fair amount of thought into the visual aesthetic. I've seen some very interesting art in games just recently. Chants of Sinar. I won't be streaming it, but I do recommend it. It uses a wireframe and fairly simplistic art style that just works beautifully. Okay, watching out for this sandstorm. It's crossing our path, but it's chugging along. And we're just sort of poking, and we haven't reached that rectangle yet. And if we don't hit that rectangle before it exits, we should be okay. Just really, really being nervous about it. Come on. Sandstorm is moving at a jolly good clip, isn't it? And it passes. Rectangle goes green as we enter. Hurrah. Sin Party. And another one over here. Medium sandstorm. We'll watch it. I don't think we're going to have to run. Oh man, we got nomads. There's well, I mean, the poison level here is none. We gotta get out of this rectangle, and then I could ask Anbu to sit and lie down for a while. See how long we can delay our forward progress until Anbu gets bored. What's the game name? Oh, Chants of Sinar. Chants, as in you know, repetitive sayings, and it's Sennaar, Sinar. It's a lovely piece about communication and cooperation and interdependency, with some really interesting puzzles to solve, and it's got some stealth bits, and it's got some run like heck bits so that you can get away from the monster. At no point does your character learn to fight. It's just not that sort of game. Each of the 5 domains you pass through has a different art style, and you just have to see it it creates such a strong visual identity for each of the domains you pass through. And then there's the whole thing of the languages, because you start out in Chants of Sinar having no idea who you are or what anybody is saying. And so, yeah, it's one of those like 7 Days to Die with you, where you have to figure out the language from context, but then you run into another language. And sometimes you find correspondences. You know, maybe you find even a little Rosetta bit that gets you a direct translation of, okay, here's the passage in the language you know, and here's the same gist of it, the translation. And you have to learn these languages well enough to be able to translate between them. And there are 5 languages. If you can get good enough at them to translate between them, you can restore communication between these various groups and make significant progress. Oh dear. That's a medium. That is a medium. This It's just determined to pound the snot out of us with the sandstorms, isn't it? Our water is not doing well, but oh, it's on the switch too. Sounds extremely up my alley. Chants of Sinar. Yes, found it. It is a beautiful piece. It has no replay value. The languages are not randomized. So once you've learned one of the languages, you'll be able to just walk through the next run. But it is. Oh yeah. Me, a language nerd and real life translator, it's like made for me, laughing my ass off. It is such a beautiful piece. It's hit a sweet spot. There's a little bit of puzzle game to it and a little bit of stealth game to it, but not enough to make it annoying or to distract from the central mechanic of learning the languages and getting people talking with each other again and figuring out what exactly is going on here. I greatly enjoyed it. I would strongly recommend it. It does have some patriarchal language in it. There's a use of brothers and men to mean, we community and humans, but the languages are by necessity very simplistic. Oh, and they each one have their own grammar, and so you had to figure out the grammar as well as the words. I enjoy replaying puzzle and adventure games, so I think I'll likely replay too. Yeah, it's an ancient world setting. I'll live. Well, it's sort of. I don't want to spoil. You're only seeing, I forget what the distinction is between grammar and syntax. Yeah, you're only seeing in the preview the first world, which is the first domain, which is very much ancient world. But then it moves into another domain that is based on a different set of civilizations and such, and it just yeah. And then and there's another the technology level goes up from one to the next, and there's all sorts of stuff going on. It's much more complex than it looks like when you first start playing it. I don't want to spoil. I really don't want to spoil. Let's see. Difference between grammar and syntax. Grammar is... Shoot. I should know this one. I really should know this one. I'm feeling a little ashamed of myself. Okay, what do we got going here? That's a giant spore cloud. What? Do what? Wait. Excuse me? Excuse me? We're not going to meet those nomads. Sorry, there was just no way. Go this way and we have a heat wave and a snoozy spot. Go this way and we have a giant spore cloud, but we also have humidity. Either direction we have to deal with a medium sandstorm. Sodded. I'm going this way. We're gonna go northeast. We'll definitely play it. Yeah, it was, I thought, quite joyful. Greatly enjoyed it. I was looking at language games. I think it was September that went through 7 Days to Die with You, and that was really intriguing. And I'm looking at it going, I kind of want to play this at this point. I need to get it set up at some point when I can afford it. Impulse buys are dangerous. I've also got to watch out what how much stuff I'm getting into, because I can get, overcommitted real easy. I've got the Wandering Village, which is my stream game once a week. I've got Minecraft, and then I've got Roots of Pacha, and that really is about it. Chants of Sennaar kind of got slipped in there for a couple of days. It took the place of Roots of Pacha and Minecraft by and large. Oh, good choice. We have poison nomads that we can pick up. We go that way, we get nomads. Yeah. Okay. It's going to be a little rough. We're going to be dealing with a lot more poison, but I've got 228 medicinal herb stockpiled at this point. Anbu could use a munchie. Let's feed Anbu. I am somewhat pleased that there's an achievement I have not been able to get. It's called Spa Day. And to get Spa Day, you have to feed Anbu, give Anbu an antidote, pet Anbu, and heal Anbu of damage all in one day. Now, we have given Anbu a lot of antidotes. And we've given Anbu many pets and told Anbu that Anbu is a very special creature and a very precious creature, and that we appreciate Anbu so much. Anbu deserves. Oh yes, you can pet him. Oh yes, let us do this. Let me just bring this up. Pet Anbu. It increases trust. Our trust is pretty damn high, but let's fire that off. But Anbu has never, in this game, taken enough damage that I could use the heal option. And I'm actually rather pleased with that. We're going to want to sleep before we leave this zone. We need to step back here. Ooh. Now would be a really good time to sleep, actually. Lie down. We're going to lie down here, outside of that. And I'm going to need to get scavenging parties going here. Give me a second here. I mean, you managed the game so well, you got a less than 2% achievement, no surprise really. There goes the balloon, and the balloon is off to give Anbu head scritchies. Sounds like Sponde would be easier to get if you were willing to hurt Anbu yourself. That's what happens when you pet Anbu. Now that Anbu has done that, we're going to say sleep. I want Anbu thoroughly rested. Anbu is at 62%. Anbu needs to sleep. I want Anbu thoroughly rested before we continue on. And I'm going to sleep just short of having to deal with that sandstorm. Imagine scritching a kaiju from a balloon. That is exactly what we just did. We gave a kaiju head scritchies. The frequency with which Anbu wags its tail tells us some things about our relationship. We want to see that often. There are a number of ways that I can hurt Anbu. I have avoided building an entire line of the tech tree. I did the research on it, but did not build any of it. There are a couple of facilities that I could build that would allow me to tap Anbu's bodily fluids. There's a bile extractor and a couple of things, and yeah, putting those in causes Anbu injury and costs trust with Anbu. I've built trust up over a while, and like with the nomads and the population, there is such an emphasis on the relationship with the kaiju and the transition of your people from parasites to symbionts, and then the maintenance of the symbiotic relationship. I found myself just flatly unwilling to build any of the extractors, injectors. Kinda ironic, though fitting, that you got the city achievement without hurting Anbu. Yeah, it was just... The game felt like it was... It really feels like it's presenting some moral choices here. And some ethical choices and some lessons in ethics. Okay, we got a scavenging party back. Let's go on and get them reassigned. Let's make sure I've hit all the oases. Don't want to miss any. Let's go on and hit this dune, because we're going to lose access to it. Now, it also does give me a disadvantage. There is a feeding tube you can put in that, when you put it in, it does cause Anbu pain and a loss of trust, but it allows you to make liquefied food that you can then inject directly into Anbu's stomach. You gain a speed advantage, and I think, and there's a nutrient point advantage. There are some reasons to do some of this stuff, but I was just not willing to damage the relationship that I spent in a lot of effort getting up to the point where Anbu would listen to my commands. Although it's also sobering to think less people might have died in the short term if you'd been more extractive. Yeah. Probably not. The problem, what actually killed those people was bad design on my part. My layout is bad. I have used way too much green space for industrial buildings and housing that should have gone on the brown space. My initial herbalist here is terribly cramped. The overlap in potential field area is just way too tight, and then I put in the village doctor right next to the building and blocked growing space there. This is only my third try at the game. The first two, I didn't make it through the tutorial. And I did not read up ahead much other than, the usual, does the dog die? And there were a few warnings. But, yeah, my design is, my layout is bad. Doing the housing in this long strip so tightly together was bad because there's no room for decoration in between them. I've had to put decoration along this strip here and interfere a little bit with the berry gatherer, which has its own issue. There's there are a number of things that I could have done much better in terms of the organization and layout here. Over-industrialization, it's not so much over-industrialization as badly positioned industrialization. If I had put the iron furnace over here on bare dirt, I would have had this entire space available for fields for this herbalist, because as you can see, the herbalist's fields are cut off right here. I put the herbalist in where I could shoehorn them in. I did not think ahead about the fact that the farms and the growing spaces are in a radius. The available field is a radius around the farm. Importance of planning, absolutely. I also don't have roads in some areas where I'd really like to have them. There's no road connecting this segment and this segment because I would have to chop out this spine here. That's one of Anbu's spines. I don't want to cut that off. Oh no, you build a subdivision? Yeah, I built a subdivision. I built suburban tract housing. 1970s architecture has been in my life a lot lately. I built a garden area in a Minecraft city, and that's underground. It's built in a cave. Built a garden and put a central glass sculpture in blues and greens and watercolors that takes a spill of water coming down from overhead. I cut a block up into a grotto up above the garden and just let the water drop straight down. So this one block column of water comes down, hits this fountain, and splits into 4 streams that waters the garden. And I got it all put together and stepped back and went, oh, damn it, I have built a 1970s mall court fountain. Posted it on the Fetty and had a couple of people look at it and go, well, yeah, that's pretty much what you got there. Damn it. That's a desert island. I'm going to send the party to the desert island. So, yeah, LJ, you weren't here for an earlier stream where Bad Road and I were talking about the planning and the whole Dwarf Fortress thing and the probability of the game ending with a systemic collapse of some sort. I almost did have a famine because of running out of water earlier on. Pulled out of that without losing anybody. And then they had that mass poisoning thing. That has set me back so far. Alright, that's heading this direction, but we're going to be out of the rectangle before it gets here. I am reasonably convinced of this. The giant spore cloud is a bit of a bugger, but it's very slow, and it's passing through its target zone while we're well away from it. Hoping that my nap has set the timing well enough here. Just one thing after the other. The game does this. It has been slowly ramping up the difficulty and piling on a bit. I'm running into more hazards, and eventually there's going to come a point where I'm going to run into a series of things that I just can't handle. It's just the way it's going to be. A sandstorm. Oh, we're getting clipped just very, very slightly. God bless it, we got clipped. Dang nabbit. Please tell me it didn't take out the, okay, it didn't take out the hornblower. It did, however, take out the iron furnace. We'll repair that. I really don't care about that right now. It's not, the dung collector is a problem. That's going to have to be prioritized. We have to have the dung collector. And I really want this air well functioning. Let's see. Anything else that got damaged? Seeing anything right off. We are... Oh, shoot. That's still here. Why is that still here? Lie down. Do it now. Before we hit that poison cloud. Anbu is not sleepy. So Anbu is going to get bored at some point, but I'm going to at least give a little bit of a chance for that to move on. We'll see what happens. Anbu will get bored very shortly. It's unfortunate, but, you know, do what I can. We also are in a humid area, which means our evaporators, our air wells, should start working again. Let's go have a quick look here at the air well. Yes, this air well is cranking. Air well, that one's got somebody poisoned. We gotta get Anbu up out of here. Can't stay here. Really can't stay here. Alright. Start it. Here we go. Run. Get up and run through it. Spore cloud. The decontaminators will come in here. That's the little guys you see running around with the flamethrowers. There's a whole 2 buildings full of them, and they've got plenty of biogas, and we're going to charge through this bloody thing here. Anbu walks, Anbu runs. We're going to just charge through this. There's no point in zooming in and trying to micromanage any of the response to the spore cloud. I won't be able to see shit. My best bet is to let the decontaminators do their job. And I need to watch as Anbu goes through here, and when we're clear of it, I gotta give Anbu the command to go back to a walk. Decontaminator, yeah, whatever. Walk. Okay. We're gonna be picking up these nomads very shortly. Oh yay, we got a little poison forest here. Yippee skippy. Let's go have a look and see what we got here. We got some issues. We got some poisonous plants here. Let's get these marked for being got rid of. Mark them to be harvested on priority. We got decontaminators moving in the area as well, so they'll be taking care of some of this. Oh damn! I got somebody hungry. That's not good. Poison that we can deal with. Hungry is a problem. Oof. Goodbye, poisonous plant. You are gone, gone, gone. That one's already tanked, we got rid of. Okay, we got nomads. Pick them up, absolutely. Come at. 3 poisoned people. We're in a low poison area right now. Environment right now. We got 3 badly poisoned, 2 poisoned, 1 hungry. We're working on it. We're working on it. I got nobody unemployed. And we got this coming up, which is a lovely, lovely thing to have. What is that? That is another sleepy spot. That is ocean. Problem is, we gotta cross through more poison. You know? I just like that. Kaiju socialism with 100% employment. It is, very much a socialist or even communist civilization. No question about it. Okay, we're clearing our poisoning, we're clearing our hunger. Looking good, looking good. There's no mention of money. The kitchens just hand out food to anybody who walks up and seems to need food. There are central warehouses where all the stuff is, and people just go get it as they need it. It feels very more communist than socialist, really. And there is definitely the whole communal thing that you've established with Anbu. You know, that's a whole thing in and of itself. Let's see what we got going on here. That's a strong thunderstorm. Ooh, egg. Hey, gibbets. Ha ha ha. Muzzle tough. So we got a fortress here to Fort Williams that I can go scavenge here. That could be interesting. Going this way takes me to a sleepy spot in what looks like desert. Going this way takes me to ocean and a big thunderstorm. I don't like that thunderstorm. I really don't like that thunderstorm. I mentioned this last time. It's probably not so much communist as simply a pre-cash society. There may very well be a tally system. Oh, we'll go out to lunch. Have fun. Thanks for dropping by. Glad you could make it. Money was probably invented to facilitate taxes and the provisioning of armies. Quite probably. And it's possible that these people are using a tally system like the early Egyptians. There's not really a need for any sort of physical counter. There's not that many people. Especially not now. Gee, Jehoshaphat. That's been an entire thing. Well, that is definitely desert on the other side of that, but it's, you know, that's no worse than going into the ocean. %. We're above 20%. I generally try to keep the Anbu well fed, partly because there's the occasional spot of tasty looking rocks or a poisoned feeding spot. You know, the various. Oh, wait a minute, we got a decision here. Trading for goods. Your scavengers encounter a group of people from a nearby hideout exploring the settlement. They ask for a trade. They look exhausted. We could give them some of our water. We can give them water. We could trade some of our food. We can give them bread. Or we'll refuse the trade and scavenge the settlement for anything they might have left behind instead. That seems kind of a dick move. It is a very safe move, but it is kind of a dick move. I'm going to offer them water. This is a risk. Go with the risky one, but it seems like the better thing to do. Grateful, they offer you the goods they scavenged in return. So we get 6 glass and 8 iron in return for the water. That's actually pretty good. Those are finished goods. This is not ore here or sand. This is finished goods here. Finished materials. Processed materials. That's nice. Let's get them out to the fort ruins. Okay. Offering support in the form of supplies has a tendency to produce new settlers, new people onboarding. Rain? I'm not sure I've seen rain before. That's really interesting. You can hear the rain pattering down. Huh. That's a thing. This is new. Probably part of the quality of life update that was in the big Anbu's birthday thing. Oh no, there it is. Rain cloud. Where the heck? I didn't see that earlier. Where did that come from? It's raised our humidity, which is going to do wonders for our water supply, replenishing our water. Settlers, absolutely we will pick them up. Commit. 2 hungry people join. That's fine. I do not have a problem with it. We can feed people. Can feed people. Send them out to the forest island and see what we get there. I'm watching this poison forest as we approach. Not a good thing. Okay. Green cloud. Interesting. It is doing nice. We are seeing some nice recovery on our water supply here. That's good. Definitely going to need it. Going to need it. Okay. We got going on. What we got going on is Anbu coming up to a poison forest. I don't see it yet ahead of us. Still haven't made a decision as to what we're going to... Medium sandstorm, strong thunderstorm. We go into the desert. There it is. We can see it now. Once we get a nose into it, I'm gonna say run and try and bolt through it as quick as we can. Just be done with it. Spore clouds and such really ceased to be quite so much of a problem once I had 2 decontaminator buildings put together, fully staffed. And then also I got the extra flamethrowers option, so that helped. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Alright, we need to feed Anbu. Go to the shipwreck. Immediately go for them. Rest well on bed. Rest well. Rest well. It is the top of the hour. Would like to remind people that, as it says on the screen, trans rights are human rights. My family just had to relocate because of violent transphobic neighbors. Caused a great deal of turmoil. We were privileged enough to be able to go on and do the relocation. Although it was a bit of it's been quite of a strain. A lot of people less fortunate. Black Lives Matter and Indigenous Lives Matter, and land back is not a metaphor. I'm proud to be part of a group, the truck community. You can find our schedule at that link. There's people streaming every day of the week, all sorts of interesting things happening. There's, if you've enjoyed what I do here and you'd like to see a bit more of it, I keep my VODs archived on YouTube. There's the channel. There's Wandering Village, there's Wildflowers, there's Stardew Valley, there's a lot of Minecraft, a little of this, that, and the other. And then also, like to remind people that I also write. I am a published author, and I've got a sort of Dickensian serial fiction going called Bread Spotting on Patreon that takes place in London in 1856. It's straight up historical fiction. Not fantasy, interesting stuff. It's just showing how people win through by using union principles to some extent. So, we come to the end of another journey, another time. We've had this time together, Q. Carol Burnett. And in the immortal words of Stephen Hill,